Hey guys, how's it going? It's Andy from Magoo Investing. Today I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin. And depending on who you talk to, they're most likely going to either love or hate Bitcoin. And it kind of shows how polarizing Bitcoin has become. It started as this kind of not super well-known cryptocurrency, and then it took off and everyone knew about it. And the hype kind of took over, hit $20,000, and then recently bottomed out at around $3,500. But now, as of recording this video, it's sitting at around $8,000. So it's gone up over 100% this year. So pretty crazy stuff. And that's kind of brought Bitcoin back into the public light again. And so I saw this article this morning that asked, is Bitcoin the new gold? And so the reason that people ask that is that in the past century or so, anytime that the market has been poor, gold has been the safe place to kind of park your money and still be profitable. And so people saw that when the bad news of the trade wars came out at the end of Sunday and then into Monday, they saw how violently the market reacted going down and then saw Bitcoin take off. And so today I'm going to be discussing kind of the technical aspects of it, what I saw as I went through all the charts, and kind of maybe bringing into a conclusion on why I think that you should or shouldn't buy some Bitcoin because of the recent news stories. All right, and so I'm going to be kind of talking about some charts today, and that's kind of where I really enjoy the stock market, which is interesting because Bitcoin is very speculative because it's not linked to one country. So it's kind of just this broad idea. And so I'm going to be talking about the most recent downturn in the market that went from end of last summer up until about the new year. And so during that time, the market fell pretty hard and it fell really fast, and it has recovered since then, but that was still a violent time in the market. And so I'm going to put up the Bitcoin chart, and as you see during that, did not react the opposite direction of the market. During that time, Bitcoin was on its way down. There was news stories that was happening during it, but it hit its bottom as the market was also falling. Whereas when I put up the gold chart for that winter, it looks completely different. That's going to be the one that I would like to be a part of. And so it kind of brings home the idea that gold, when the market's kind of rough and people aren't super confident, gold is the place to be. And so as we look at that news that came out, gold took off, Bitcoin also took off, and the markets fell. So I kind of did a little bit more digging because I wasn't really sure what my conclusion was going to be. And then I kind of looked for the big news stories that brought the market down during last winter. And one of the big ones was when the Federal Reserve came out and said they're going to be changing interest rates. And the market did not like that. So that the market fell, but that was also one of the best days for Bitcoin as it was hitting its bottom. So it's kind of bringing me to the conclusion that Bitcoin reacts to news stories, whereas gold reacts to the trend. And so I don't think that Bitcoin is the right answer if you think that the market's going to be falling. I do think that Bitcoin will be profitable in the long term. I think it's a very fascinating topic. I'm not going to be personally putting my money around there because I think that stocks are the more reliable, more tested source. But if someone said they're going to be putting some money into Bitcoin, I wouldn't advise them against it. I think it's very fascinating. I think it's kind of scary. I'll be making a video eventually on why I think that Bitcoin is super risky. I think it's pretty obvious, but I'll just put out that if you're going to be putting your money into Bitcoin, from what I've heard, you kind of put your money in there and then you kind of assume that it's going to disappear. And so you should hold it in there, and it could make you a lot of money, but it could also, as you've seen, go from $20,000 down to $3,500. So it's pretty violent, very volatile. Volatility makes you money, but it can also bring your account down to zero. So it's kind of dangerous in that aspect. So personally, I think that if the market's going to continually fall, I would be putting my money into gold and not Bitcoin. So I thought this was a really interesting topic, something that should be looked into more in the future as we have more of these horrible news stories that bring the market down, and kind of look to see how Bitcoin and gold reacts to it. Because from what I've seen since I've been studying the market, it seems that Bitcoin follows the news stories, whereas gold kind of follows the market. And I think gold is going to be the more reliable place if you think the market's going to be heading down. So hopefully this got you to stop and think. It's a very hype-driven area of Bitcoin currently because people, if you got in at the bottom, you're up 100% or more than that at that point. So will it keep going up? You get people that say it's going to be going back up to 20,000, but those are also the people that are hyping it up so that they make more money. So it's kind kind of tough to kind of judge where it's going, but I think it's going to be very interesting to see where Bitcoin heads in the next couple months, and also where the market goes if this news story about the trade war continues. So hopefully you kind of thought about something this episode, and I will see you guys in the next video.